I am living and I'm breathing, body forces in the way.
I'm Mads Harrop. I have autism, Tourettes, ADHD and anxiety.
It's what I don't need. I'm drowned.
I love to spend time with my dogs. They help me with my tics, and they're just so loyal, and especially Timmy. He's very, sweet and very loving, and they've all got such smooth textures. I am a musician and a producer and sound engineer. I write my own songs and I play guitar and sing.
One, two, three, four.
If I told you, would you see me on the internet? 5 years from now, would you have known? Unexpectedly, things have changed. 5 years from now. I was diagnosed with autism when I was quite a young kid, but I was 9 when my parents told me I had autism. And that's kind of what made me realise why I was a little bit sort of different.
If you indie that up, it'll be how fast?
Probably about this fast. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Dum, 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 dum. I was also very artsy as well. So not only did I sing and learn piano, I also loved drawing as a kid, and I used to draw all these cartoons and things like that. I guess I felt like the other kids noticed I was different, I think. But all the kids at my school were really kind to me, and I still had lots of friends.
She was just different with the way she acted and different with how she could concentrate on something, but had lost focus of what else was happening around her.
You won't believe what has happened, something you could have never imagined.
Washing machines. She was absolutely loved washing machines.
She would disappear in people's houses to find their laundry. She'd be sitting there either looking at their washing machine or watching the washing machine if it was going.
I remember we get to school to see the face painting, and they all came out with butterflies and all these sort of things, and Madeline came out with a washing machine on each cheek.
Yeah.
she really liked them.
Nice, I like that. Tell me what it's about.
So this song is basically a letter to my past self when I'd just graduated high school and was getting ready to go to uni. And in this song, I'm telling that version of myself that, she would still be proud of where we got to today, but she wouldn't have believed what's happened since then.
Yeah, I like the lyrics. They're great.
Thanks. When I was a kid, I used to make songs up about this toy that I really, really loved, which I've still got. It was this doll called Bubba Doll, and I used to make up songs about her all the time. I just one day, just at school, just decided I wanted to learn guitar, and then it kind of unlocked a whole world for me.
Hey, Mads.
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome.
Thank you.
When we came to the Waitaki Valley, the woolshed was originally going to be Fenella's workshop, and when we started renovating it, I just sort of took it over.
Yes, it's a gender issue, but never mind.
Check 1, 2.
And slowly the recording studio developed into where it is now. It's a fully functioning, fully working professional studio.
Don't ever make me change. Don't ever make.
When you look at the actual analysis for autism, it's all very negative. It's all can't do this, can't do that, it shows these behaviours. It's never the can do this, has these gifts, has these attributes, which is actually what we really wanted to focus on with Madeline. And we got Mads to own it from an early age, sort of saying you're different but equal.
Beautiful.
I learnt why should I blend in when I was born to stand out. Could I please do that take again? I think I could be a bit more expressive.
Yep, certainly.
Thank you.
No problem. Here we go, same place.
My autism is what makes me that way in a good way. And that's when I started writing songs. I learned I can use my autism as my superpower and my other disabilities too. And that's what was the inspiration story behind Pink Elephant.
Don't ever make me change.
With my autism, it allows me to offer a unique perspective on things. And when I'm singing, I feel at ease. I feel like I can just be myself.
Don't ever make me change.
That's really nice, Mo.
Thanks.
She'd won one of the Play It Strange, was a finalist in her final year of school.
I'm a pink elephant.
Really, her songs were already recognised even at that point of 16, 17, having her own little jangly sound.
How do you define uniqueness?
I've just loved the vibe of being in a studio.
Does it mean intelligence?
I used to often come and sit in and watch sessions and I'd ask Tom a whole bunch of questions. What happens if I push this button here, and what happens if I turn this knob here? And that, for me, kind of sparked a whole fascination with recording gear.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool.
Awesome.
Mads, can you set the table for me, darling? Then take out the cutlery and then come back for the plates, the meat, and this bread has to go out. That'll be awesome. Thanks, lovey.
Okay, will do, thank you.
She's really, really good with the social engagement.
We have this 2-for-1 rule. Because she's autistic, she likes to talk about herself a lot. So we got this pattern quite early on where you go, OK, well, you ask 2 questions about someone else's life, and when they respond, you can tell them one thing about yourself.
And it's amazing, she still does it now.
You remember that time at our early Christmas celebration last year, Tom, where we all had those fake eyelashes and you had the Clockwork Orange one?
It wasn't until secondary school that we had to do the set routines. And in some ways, going to boarding school was quite a relief for Madeline because she got away from her rather ad hoc timetable of her parents.
It was a good experience going to boarding school, yeah. This was before I got Tourettes, but yeah, I had all my other disabilities going on, yeah.
We had incidences there. She had anxiety and she'd be up quite often checking the taps and things.
It actually got to the point where I was on the verge of... I almost got asked to leave hostel because of it.
Madeline's always been really good for suggestions, so we went out and we got a whole lot of fitness gear. And I said, you know, Mads, what I can see is that if you exercise really hard, this is the one thing that will help you manage your stress. It was really good at managing her and kept her in boarding school.
Can't forget my makeup either, very important. When I was ready to leave school, I already knew what I wanted to do, and I had plans on coming to the University of Otago to study music because I wanted to work in the music industry, and now I want to be a sound engineer and producer, and I was continuing with my music, songwriting and stuff. Nearly forgot my sparkly shoes.
With special needs children, the most important bit has always been transitions. When we came to university, managing that transition was going to be quite tricky, but she was absolutely so ecstatic about going to university. She was just so excited about the whole thing.
I was just so happy in Dunedin. I really, really loved it, and I was just having such a great time. I'd made so many new friends.
She loved uni from the moment she got there, and it was also for the first time ever that she was studying solely what she loved. She was just doing music with like-minded people, and she was having an absolute ball. She had togas on, and she was going to everything. As she kept telling us, I'm having the best time of my life.
She formed a band, she started playing and getting gigs, and it was all just going stonkingly.
I came home from university for the Easter break, 2019, and it all sort of came on. It was very all of a sudden, like...
It just erupted.
I remember the first time I ever noticed my tics, I was sitting on the couch just relaxing 1 minute, and then the next minute I was like screaming and convulsing.
It was just like the most violent eruption you can imagine. And we're just going, what the hell? That night I put her to bed and I was holding on to her, and it was like holding onto a washing machine. It was just so convulsive, and I was just holding her and sort of tears going down her back, and she was crying and kind of going, what's happening to me, Mum?
Yeah, we're getting into the depths of it now, which is pretty, yeah, it's pretty scary.
It's such an intense, fast change that it was quite hard to comprehend. And it was so scary that you didn't know when it was going to stop.
It's like living with a tiger in a cage.
It was incredible.
Yeah, you don't know how it's going to attack. And then, you know, I'd read and I'd see sometimes people end up in wheelchairs because they're so...
Debilitated by the muscular
And you
tics.
just don't know where you are.
The only thing I could describe it as is it was like some of the scenes from The Exorcist. And she had muscular and screaming tics at the same time. And this is your 19-year-old daughter.
The bewilderment in her eyes, you know, she was being ravaged. Like, that's the only word I can think of. Like, she was actually being ravaged by this thing.
Literally within 2 weeks of developing, I had to go into hospital and get a few tests done and an MRI. And that's when the neurologist ended, so they didn't find anything suspicious, which is actually quite a relief for all of us. But so it just came back. They just said I have Tourettes.
You remember when we first got Tourettes and you were so loud that we just used to have to walk all over the back
So
you could yell and scream it out.
The screams were so loud that I'm sure you could hear them miles away.
Yeah,
and
she
then
was
just
loud.
funny phases, like she'd be swearing like a Glaswegian sailor for a while.
Yeah, the next step was to just go see some mental health professionals and occupational therapists and just get support on how to manage it. I just love how quiet it is and how just, you know, how pretty it is. We've never gotten sick of the environment, have we? No.
The more we understood, once we had the Tourette's diagnosis, we realised that, you know, this is a multi-headed beast. It can manifest in so many different ways. And the words, you'd just be going, where have these come from? We've never said this. You realised it was something completely unattached to Mads.
I've had to, yeah, reach out and just get support with that. It's pretty, you know, hard to talk about because it's like, it's taken such a toll on me emotionally. I mean, I'm not crying right now, but there have been times where I do feel really upset about it, and yeah. This is just a place where I can just give, you know, my mind a rest and really nice way to just let my brain calm down and also give my ears a rest as well. When I'm walking out and I hear the sounds of nature, my brain kind of calms down.
Oh, there's Kate. She's working here today.
Kia ora, Kate.
Yes,
How are you? Kete pia koe.
I'm good. How are you?
Tino pai.
Have you been playing any music?
I have been playing some music, yeah, and I'm going to release an album later this year.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
How was the
Off idiot.
How was the concert in Christchurch?
Dunedin.
Dunedin. It's on a big day out.
What I love about Kurau is Madeline got Tourette's when she was 19. So even though there was autism and things when she was younger, they know her without the Tourette's. So it's good for them to know her Mads as she was, and then to see her now and to be so accepting and understanding as they have been is really wonderful.
Your last birthday lunch while you're 23.
It's going to be the best yet ever.
24.
I've got a good feeling. Release the album, ticks will be good. It'll be great. Very proud of you, doing really well. And your masters, all going to be good.
Once we did get the diagnosis, Mads was saying to me, Mum, I've worked so hard to get here and I don't want anyone to take that away. And I was just kind of going, no one's going to take that away. We're going to keep you in uni. We're going to do whatever we can. We just had to drive her down to lectures and then she could hold it together almost.
See how long she could do
and
it.
then come back and sit in the car and just take it out. All the energy would be released. We just worked it out with her teachers. School was amazing. Everyone was very determined to keep her.
It was 8 weeks. when she came back to the hostel,
Kind of cursing as I go. Just accept who you don't know.
Of course, with every fibre of my being, I just wanted to not put her out in the world like that. And I remember just watching her walk into a crowd and melt into it, just going, oh my God, she's so brave.
Don't need you, Mr. Coach.
it was incredible that she was so determined to work through it.
The
Trucks on.
gracefulness and the grit.
Silent Valley.
We were at the dining room in the hostel, and Madeline stood up there. Forgive me. She stood up there and she said, oh, this is what's happened to me. If you hear me making funny noises, I've had lots of tests, and they say I've got this thing called Tourettes, and I say things I don't want to say, and I do things I don't want to do, and I'll be noisy, but I'll try not to be noisy. And then this kid stood up and she just said, Mads, you're part of our family here. You're welcome. And I'm really sorry that you've gone through this, and let's go and watch a movie together.
Yeah, it's
I just
amazing.
sat there.
'Cause I'm lost for words.
So then I knew maybe it's going to be okay. We got this.
Lost for words.
She's really, really good at front-footing it.
I've learned how to explain myself. If I get the odd person that doesn't know what Tourette syndrome is, I usually say it's a neurological condition characterised by involuntary movements and vocalisations known as tics. They can be a combination of both motor tics or vocal tics. So neck jerking or eye movements or obscene gestures. Then the vocal tics can be throat clearing, barking, making random noises or swearing. Idiot, idiot, idiot. But I literally cannot control it or help it. I'm the complete opposite of my tics. They don't represent my personality at all.
She has been asked to leave places. Taxis won't pick her up, and the bus driver, at one stage I thought was going to say, oh, you can't come on the bus.
Thank you. Thank you, you too. The great thing about songwriting and about art in general is that you can go through negative experiences and turn them into works of art.
To celebrate and bring awareness to Tourette's Awareness Week, we are joined in the studio by Mads Harrop, who is a prolific local musician, mixer, engineer, student, and many more things, and producer. You're a person of many hats, Mads. Welcome to the studio.
Oh, kia ora, Dave. Thank you very much.
What do you think that is one of the biggest misconceptions, or what is something that you wish people knew?
I guess probably my biggest piece of advice, if you ever come across someone with Tourette's, is just be kind to them, and because it's very stressful for us, and please remember that with our tics, they are completely involuntary, so we don't get to choose our tics, and we don't get to choose what time of day they come and how loud they can be. And just please ignore them.
Before we got into the studio, you were telling me about something that was a shock to me, that Tourette's syndrome isn't recognised by the New Zealand government as a disability. That's awful.
Yeah, it is. It does make things a little bit more difficult, and because it's not recognised, that means we can't get access to any government-funded support. If we could get it recognised, that would be really good.
We've got an album coming out this year, which is so exciting. Always love
Thank
hearing
you.
about new music from you. You're unstoppable, Mads.
Thank you so much. Oh, it's great. I always just love being on Radio 1A. Shout out to the awesome team here at Radio 1. So I have a performance today, which was why you see me dressed up and all made up with the eyeliner and eyeshadow and everything. Today's look is sort of like a glam rock sort of look with the glittery shoes and the suit and the eyeshadow and everything. And I've also got a meeting with one of the professors at the uni So we're going to be talking about my plans for my Masters this year. I've been very fortunate to get my Bachelor of Music with honours, both endorsed in composition and music production. Oh yeah, I've had such amazing teachers over the years who are all super passionate about what they do. I've got another idea which I was going to think about pitching to you. Another idea that I've thought about, and it's the studio as an instrument,
right?
Which I think will be a really fascinating concept.
Yeah, it's exciting. Thinking about coming back and doing more study.
I researched it and I found out one of the aspects of it can be the studio can be any room, and you can record sound from any sound source and then manipulate it and edit it and make it musical.
Yeah, totally. Mads has been really, really amazing to work with. She's really, really motivated, and she's the kind of person that just sort of gets along really well with people. There's a lot that we've learned from Mads.
This makes kind of a musical sound, but not really, but like maybe something like a washing machine or something.
Because she listens so clearly and in such a focused way, you sort of find yourself doing that as well.
Recorded with like flanges and reverbs and like going, woo, that would look pretty. That would sound pretty cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I love that. And the way that those sounds are sort of not quite in time. I wish all of the people I worked with in recording studios had that level of focus and motivation.
A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mads makes really, really great, interesting music. And one of the things that her music has is a really clear voice. She knows who she is, and she knows the message she's trying to get across.
I really, really love trying to make performances as mesmerising as possible. Like, really love it, and I try to make it as energetic as possible. Like, I've only ever ticked on stage like once or twice, but everyone's very understanding, and yeah, when I play gigs, you know, they're pretty much judgment-free zones.
You kind of want to inspire your kids, but she's quite the opposite. She inspires you all the time.
The children astound you anyway, but Madeline is just so brave.
The great thing about, I guess, performing on stage is everyone can see just me being Mads Harrop and not the girl with Tourettes. I can just be myself and focus on just having a good time.